One. Yes. I guess we are live. We'll soon see people rolling in. हाँ भाई
Are we live?
प्रत्युष
I don't think I
how
can
are you?
say. I don't think I can see the live.
या we'll soon go. बस यहाँ पे वो थोड़ा डिले रहता है.
Uh,
People, if you see us, start rolling hello, how are you, hi in chat ताकि हमें पता चल जाए कि हम लाइव जा चुके हैं.
they do not. There are 6 people waiting actually.
Yes. Everything is up from my side, I guess. थोड़ा.
Yeah, no. I have it on my phone running, so you can see it.
एक्सीलेंट कनेक्शन तो दिखा रहा है भाई. शायद हम लाइव चले जाएंगे बट अचानक से लोगों का सबका ऐसे ही शुरू हो
I
जाएगा.
know, I
हाँ
know, I
आ
know.
गया हो गया. वी आर लाइव. परफेक्ट. हेलो एवरीवन. चैट अभी आने लगेगी. So we have ArgueFest 4-window winner with us, Mr. Pratyush, and I'd also introduce him as low as he was introduced in the ArgueFest final for the winner. जैसे उसने बोला था कि make some noise for but anyways he is a excellent person. He have been an EB and I have been a delegate under him. That is how I think I should say it. And the guy is a gem, and that is the main reason that I have him with me, because like inviting people here is like paying a respect. I'll tell you, Pratyush, how and why I started this thing. So basically, I wanted to start a podcast, right? But the problem with me doing a podcast is कि मैं ज़्यादा बोलता हूँ और गेस्ट को कम बोलने देता हूँ. ठीक है. तो मैंने सोचा डिबेट प्लेटफॉर्म बनाएंगे ताकि वी हैव अ गुड कम्युनिकेशन, ताकि मुझे भी इतना मौका मिले एंड गेस्ट को भी इतना मौका मिले, राइट? एंड दैट इज वाई like calling people on this debate is like getting to know them, and I'm very much curious about knowing you more than the topics, more than whatever we discussed today. I'm very much interested in what you believe in, very much interested in how you are what you are. तो उसके बारे में भी हम बहुत सारी बातें करेंगे. एंड या दैट इज.
I think you've given me too big of an introduction. I don't think I deserve that big of an introduction. Thank you so much, and it's a pleasure to be here. And the two topics, I'm very glad they are the topics that are relevant, and I'm very passionate about both of them.
Yes.
So it should be a good, fun R and a bit more.
Most definitely. So, guys, for all of you to know the topics, we have the screen. Here's the first topic, that is the legitimization of same sex marriage, where Pratyush is on the for side and I am on the against side. Remember, whatever we are speaking on the particular topic are our honest view and not just for a debate sake. So anything taken out of context should be avoided, वैसे भी, even if we are speaking our original views, because debate के heat में कुछ कुछ बोल देते हैं. But do keep your chats rolling so that we know कि आप लोग यहाँ पे हो. And yeah, the Pratyush, to explain you the concept or the format, although we can adhere to it, and as a guest courtesy, I'll allow you to break wherever required. ठीक है, जैसे तू मेरे को as a delegate allow करता है, ठीक है. तो 3 मिनट के लिए नो इंटरप्शन राउंड रहेगा, जहाँ पे ओपनिंग स्टेटमेंट्स देंगे, जस्ट बेसिक इंट्रोडक्शन ऑन व्हाट वी थिंक अबाउट एंड व्हाट आर ब्रॉड व्यूज आर. So first you get a chance as you are the guest, and then after I give my statement, right? And then after we go into 1 minute remark round. This will be specifically on the basis of the opening statement that we both gave, right? There also will be no interruptions. देन आफ्टर वील हैव 2 minutes ऑफ डिटेल राउंड. यहाँ पे बहुत अच्छे से सब्सटेंस के अंदर जाएंगे, हम बहुत डेप्थ में पहुंचेंगे टॉपिक है, बिकॉज वी बोथ विल बी आर्ग्यूइंग विद ईच अदर एंड विल रीच सम पॉइंट. तो 2 minutes विल बी डिटेल राउंड, एंड देन आफ्टर फॉर 3 minutes विल हैव ओपन डिबेट. इफ द ओपन डिबेट इज समथिंग दैट जहाँ पे हमें ऐसा लगा कि बहुत कम बातें हुई, तो वी कैन कंटिन्यू दोस 3 minutes अगेन, बट दैट इज ऑल फाइन. दिस इज जस्ट अ बेसिक थिंग सो दैट आई डोंट इंटरप्ट यू व्हेन यू आर स्पीकिंग. ये बस मेरे लिए, नॉट थिंग फॉर यू, राइट? Other than that, उसके बाद, ladies and gentlemen, the second topic is reservation system, where Pratyush is for and I am against, as usual. And there we'll have no time limits as such. We'll have no non-interruption or no formal debate as such. We'll interrupt each other, but we'll keep each other respect when it comes to opinion as well as debate. तो उसके अंदर तो कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं रहेगा, बाकी मजा आएगा बस. दैट इज ऑल. एंड यू गाइस टेल अस इफ यू आर रेडी और नॉट. भाई चैट मेरे को नहीं दिख रहा कि कोई चैट आया ही नहीं. व्हाट इज दिस? व्हाट इज दिस? व्हाई आर पीपल सो लो? कुछ बंद तो नहीं है ना मेरी साइड से भाई? रिस्ट्रिक्शन भी हो सकता है. आई विल हैव टू लुक इनटू दैट.
No, I
बिकॉज
don't think there are any chats abhi.
होना चाहिए भाई, बिकॉज जनरली आ जाते हैं चैट्स आर
हाँ
नॉट
हाँ.
दैट. No, there is no moderation activity from my side. People, if you have any problems, do message us. Okay, no, here. Sarthak aa gaya. Yes, sir. Pratyush
Yes.
bhai looking dap. He was actually insisting on not wearing it. I was like, पहन भाई, बहुत सही लग रहा है तू, बहुत सही लग रहा है. इतना dedication तो कोई नहीं देता इस debate को.
Dude, it,
No, most definitely, bro. I am very happy that you are doing whatever you are doing. है ना?
nah, man, the channel deserves it. If 15 people joining in. We have
अरे
Sarthak
हाँ
joining in.
भाई,
We need it.
कीप रोलिंग चैट्स गाइस. बस ऐसे ही कुछ ना कुछ बोलते रहो ताकि हमें पता रहे कि तुम लोग हो एंड हमारी साइड से कुछ गलत नहीं जा रहा है. ठीक है. व्हाट डू गाइस थिंक अबाउट द टॉपिक? डू लेट मी नो. बाकी आई एम जस्ट लुकिंग एट मैसेजेस. अगर कोई प्रॉब्लम हो तो मेरे को पता चल जाए. डन. चलो, कुछ प्रॉब्लम नहीं है. परफेक्ट. तो प्रत्युष, शुड वी स्टार्ट विद द डिबेट? आर यू रेडी?
Of course, I am. Let's
चलो,
start.
आई विल प्रेजेंट द टाइमर. See that timer now.
Yes, I can.
Make it a bit smaller. Okay. Pratyush, on the topic of same-sex marriage, where you are for and I am against, we start the opening remark for 3 minutes here.
Okay, so let us try to understand what same sex marriage is first. Now, before we do that, we need to understand what marriage is. Now, I submit to you that marriage is at its core a social construct. That is to say, that it does not exist in objective reality, but it is born out of human interaction. So, this is an important context because we need to understand that marriage is not this inevitability. It has never been an inevitability. Now, why do I say this? Let us look at the history of laws governing marriage. Let us look at a time where you could not marry outside your race or your caste or your creed. There was also a time, a very recent past, where you could not marry, where you could marry to with a person of any age. You could marry underage people as well. There was child marriage. Now, look, the point is not whether these things are right or wrong. The point is that marriage has always evolved as society has needed it to. Now, today, a good one-fifth of the world's population identifies as being part of the LGBTQ community. Why shouldn't marriage evolve to support them? And this apart, to people who say that marriage is a sacrosanct concept, it is religious, it should not be touched. Not only has it been touched, but the question is, if it is truly religious, if it is truly sacrosanct, then why not give one-fifth of the world that opportunity to realize the happiness that comes from it? The point of family. Now, and the third argument, which I've heard throughout, is that it is not natural. Humanity has always been about breaking what was nature's original plan. I mean, we would have been nothing but hunters and gatherers, but we cultivated. We are cutting down trees. Isn't that a violation of the order of the nature? But when it comes to culture wars, such as same sex marriage, which I think is a very common sense yes, there is a question of how it is against human nature, which it clearly is not. So I know I'm 20 minutes. I have 20 seconds still left, but I think
Okay,
I'm good.
perfect. A very good statement. Okay, I'll continue with my opening remarks on this, and my opening remarks on same-sex marriage, where I'm against, starts now. So when it specifically comes to same-sex marriage, I would say that wherein you say that it is a social construct, marriage as a whole is a social construct. I would say when it comes to same-sex marriage, it is actually a cultural marriage than a social construct, or then it is basically linked to traditions in a way, because when a same-sex marriage is allowed, it violates or it needs to be changed in multiple religious and personal laws. And that is where the problem arises, because those religious and personal laws might or never will be agreeing to those particular problems or those particular marriages or associations, because it goes against their religion. And those personal laws or religious, whether even if it is about special marriage act, the people who are adhering to special marriage act do adhere to, or their society or their family do adhere to some or other religions which does not allow same-sex marriage. So that will lead to more problems and more discrimination at the end of the day. And that is why I say it is more than just a social construct, it is a bond between a families, and that is where the problem arises. Other than that, when it comes to allowing same-sex marriage, even if we consider today to allow same-sex marriage, there will be 700 multiple other rights and rules related to marriage which will need change, whether it be inherent, whether it be tax, whether it be property rights, and multiple other changes will have to be done just to allow same-sex marriage to be taken places. And during those changes, there will be multiple loopholes which will be found out and taken benefit by multiple people. Other than that, I personally feel that the statement of government or the center body in their affidavit was really nice, saying that this is an urban elitist problem. Because why I say this, I'm not agreeing with government totally, but I personally support the statement, but because it is not the problem that needs to be solved as of now. There are multiple other problems in the same community that needs to be solved earlier than this. There are transgender people who don't have basic life and basic fundamental rights being practiced because they are continuously being discriminated in the society. That problem is more important than this, and that problem requires more time of court as well as legislator than this particular problem. When it comes to this particular problem, it is your own story that gives me answer, saying that start seeing marriage as a choice and not as an obligation. That is what you wrote in your story, and that actually defines this particular statement, because we don't need to solve this problem as of now. There are multiple other problems of the same community that needs to be solved. I'm not being a homophobe, I'm actually trying to bring up more urgent problem of the same community that needs to be solved. And there are multiple other problems, because when it comes to marriage, then also the question of child and its welfare comes up, which also needs to be addressed. And other than that, I have 6 to 8 other problems which needs to be addressed, which I'll definitely address in my other remarks. And saying all this, I personally say that right now we don't need to change same-sex marriage. It is a point which will require legislative review later on. Right now, it is a 1 minute remark round, and your time starts now.
Okay, so you made a lot of points there. First of all, are we just telling a good 15 to 20% of the population that, boss, because of government red tape and because of possibility of some random loophole, we can't grant you the right to marry? Because it sounded like that to me. Secondly, why should it be a choice? The government passes multiple bills every session, numerous bills, dozens of bills. Why can't this be one? In fact, it is not even a bill per se, it is just an amendment to the same to the SMA, which says that instead of wife or husband, make it spouse. Thirdly, you talked about traditions, and you talked about how religions, multiple religions would never accept it. Well, by that logic, then the universal um, uh, what is the UCC is not possible. Then the UCC is a dream that will never be fulfilled. And I'm sorry, I've run out of the timer.
No
But the
problem.
last thing is that you said that it's a bond between families. It remains as such. It is just you have to look at two people as individuals who are married rather than as specific sex. Thank you.
Okay, okay, okay. To remark on this particular statement, I'll start my time now. Okay, when it specifically come to problems, say for example, there are that legislator is passing numerous bills. Why not this bill? legislation only passes bill where the majority agrees to it, because they are playing politics. They are not in a judiciary system where they pass based on justice or based on any other. जहाँ पे majority agree करता है, जहाँ पे उन्हें vote मिलता है, वहीं वो pass करता है. And that is a sad reality of legislator. And that is where I say, because majority does not agree with this particular thing, and that is why they'll never pass this. And that is why leaving it on judiciary, leaving it on legislator will always delay it, and judiciary cannot post on it because it is a social problem, or rather than a cultural problem, and it is a secular body. And that is why it will never comment on it. And that is where the Supreme Court statement was that on it. When it comes to UCC, it is not possible as of now. I agree to that particular point. It is not possible without certain inputs from all the personal laws or all the parties that are involved under UCC. And that is why it is being delayed, such as same-sex marriage is being delayed.
Okay, so can I just start, if that's possible?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. So in my personal opinion, let us start with the majority thing first. That a majority of the people do not approve. Well, when the Hindu Marriage Act was passed way back in the first Prime Minister's government, it was also not supported, but it reformed our religion in banning polygamy, in doing so many things, right? But it was the right thing to do. Now, on the verdict of the Supreme Court, in my personal opinion, as a law student, I have gone through the verdict. What happens is that in the majority opinion and in the minority opinion, multiple times the honorable justices find that there are clear areas of discrimination against this population, which relate directly to marriage. Now, they unfortunately don't do anything about it. They see discrimination and do not provide a remedy to it, which is a problem that many have highlighted, including scholars like Gautam Bhatia and others. Many have highlighted within the judgment. And as far as why why it should not be there, I've still not heard a single argument which says that um, having it there will be somehow in some world worse than not having it there for the people that are affected. You have to look at stakeholders while you pass every bill. The stakeholders are literally being deprived of very important financial benefits, legal benefits which come with a marriage. And it's not that there many cultures don't exist in the US or in the UK. Many cultures exist there. In fact, more cultures than exist in India, perhaps. There's an argument that can be made, but it is happening perfectly fine there. So I think these, as you said, it's a cultural issue. I agree, it's a cultural issue. It has been made a cultural issue. It's a culture war. And I'm sorry to go on
No,
more.
go ahead.
I'll take 30 seconds more.
No
But as
problem.
far as it being an elitist issue, I don't agree. We have figures from the elite because it is only the elite who have had the resources to be able to come out. It is very possible, in fact, more possible than previously thought, that this is an issue which has been cultivating in rural villages of India, but because of our orthodox system, they have never come out.
Okay, my statement on this. So when it specifically comes to Rajiv Gandhi government passing the Hindu Law Act, right? When that particular problem comes up, I disagree with that particular thing right away, because that was also being done for the benefit of that particular party only. The world is not that good. They didn't do it for banning polygamy or bringing change into reforms into Hindu society. They did it for their own benefit. They did it for their own votes, and that is the reality. When it comes to that particular bill or any particular bill passing for benefits, there is no legislator who does things for the benefit of the world. They only do it for vote, and that is a sad reality. It is a sad reality. It should not be the case, but it is the case, and that is the fact. I am not saying that it should not be passed, but when it comes to you saying that there is no argument saying that there it should not be passed, I would say that a child needs mother, father, biological support. They face gender sexual disorders. There is a lack of evidence that the same sex parents will be the best parents for it. This is all done by the PEW. When it also comes to the other subjects, like say for example, society by and large don't want to accept it. There is a fear of individualization and deconstruction. There is demand for recognitions of other non-traditional unions. Like as and when the same-sex marriage will pass, there will be demand for multiple other stuff, because this is specifically to same-sex marriage. And when it comes to different sex marriage, there is a different legislation that will be required, and those petitions will also be filing out. So that is why I say that this must not be passed, because of all of this stuff and all of the problems been existing. And as of now, there needs to be multiple problems and it needs to be addressed first before reaching this. And that is why I say that right now, as well as until all of these problems are being addressed, it should not be passed. Other than that, when it comes to the people not coming out of their closet, it is not an orthodoxy problem. It is actually them adhering to their culture and the society being that much part of the culture. It is not them being, suppressed because of the culture. It is them respecting the same culture, because it is this culture which has built them. It is this culture on which they were brought upon.
Okay. So on a lot of the things that you said, I think first of all you are a bit. I'm talking about the Hindu Marriage Act 1955, which was passed under the Nehru government. It was championed by Ambedkar as being one of the most essential reforms. In fact, it is one of the most important moves towards a UCC, right? A Universal Civil Code. I think
It
you
was
were wrong
actually
there.
opposite there. How can being a personal law give you a unified civil code when you are
No, no,
adhering to one particular religion?
it was a reform towards the majority of the population was reformed towards something which was very close to being part of the UCC, which would have been like these rules would be part of the UCC, ban polygamy, ban child marriage.
Firstly,
These things
UCC is
would be
not
part of it.
about amending particular religion's laws
Okay,
or any particular religion's thing. It is about
let us not
establishing a secular
let
civil law,
us not
right?
stick to the Hindu
Yes,
Marriage Act.
let's not
I
stick
think
to that.
either of us could be mistaken.
Yes, yes.
Let us get to this parenting problem that you have highlighted.
Hmm.
First of all, I don't think that it exists. Numerous research studies that I'm very glad to post in the comments later on have proved that it does not make a difference. Okay, one. Second, as far as you're talking about culture and that culture building them, I mean, what sort of culture is this which keeps a person in their closet, which doesn't let them come out? And most
No, it is
importantly, this
not
is not
keeping them in closet.
Snake.
Huh.
All I'm saying is this is not respect which is keeping them stay
Sir,
in the
I am
closet.
not saying
It
that
is
because
Snake, it is fear, not respect.
no, it is. I'm not saying that because of the respect of their culture, they are not coming out of the closet. They are coming out of their closet in the rural areas also, but they are not adhering to this particular problem of same sex marriage because they don't have that particular concept in their culture as of now. You understand? See, there are transgender people who are there in rural areas also, and there are problems adhering to them. There are multiple synchronous relationships that are happening in those particular rural areas also. So all
That
of
is
this stuff
precise.
exists, but it is looked at a very different type than what this urban elite people are looking at, because they are looking at purely based on US, purely based on abroad. Now that is the
So
eye
the
or that is the
argument,
view that they
wait.
are coming from.
So this argument should be highlighted. This bit that you spoke here should be highlighted because you are
Yes.
proving my point for me.
No.
A, that
I
people
am
are coming out
saying
in
I
rural
am
India
saying
too
in rural areas it
without
is not
having
a
listen.
problem. I am saying in rural areas it is not a problem. That is my state.
Yeah, what I'm saying is that they're still coming out in rural area, even though their culture doesn't permit it.
Yeah,
Which means that it is first not a cultural phenomenon, which is not an elitist, like it's not
it
just
is.
brought up by the elite.
It
Wait,
is.
wait. You
No,
don't
continue.
just
Please
that.
continue.
And the other important thing. So you are saying that let us not legalize same-sex marriage. It would have been perfect, but because of this misrepresentation of it based on the elite and a Western influence, we will not do something which is genuinely otherwise good. My point is, look, my point is that you have still not been able to tell me why it is that there is a difference between
Sir,
a same-sex couple.
just because I am taking a side that same-sex marriage should be addressed does not mean that I am in for of it. I am saying it should not be addressed because the multiple problems that are not being addressed because of
But
this. It is an
religion,
urban elite problem because, sir, in rural areas it is not at all a
listen,
problem.
I know, Sneh. What I'm trying to tell you is, why do you think the SMA exists? Because there were problems in personal laws that could not be solved. So there was an SMA existing which said that if you can't marry under those personal laws, come here.
Sir,
I'm asking you
even if
why that
SMA is
can't
concerned,
encompass that today. Point is, should it be legalized?
chalo, even
I
if
am
we
saying,
include, say for example, same-sex marriage in SMA, say for example, right? If SMA is that part of a concern, same the if that particular part comes up, what about the families of all those people who are going through SMA? What about the discrimination that their children will face? What about the discrimination that they
so
themselves will face?
this is a
What
way
about the
to
discrimination?
overcome that discrimination. No,
No,
we
it
have
will
an
not. Sir,
institutional
see,
form of discrimination.
sir, having a Muslim code, say for example, or having any particular law related to Muslim does not mean that they will be allowed to live between the societies of Hindus. As of right now, also they are not allowed to live in societies of
That
Hindus
is,
because social problems can never be
you
solved
are
with legal
using
reforms.
you are using a straw
That is
man. Look,
exactly, sir, what
I'll
will
try to
happen with this. That will
let
exactly
me
what will happen with this.
let me break this down. Okay. Do you think after the Civil Rights Act was passed or untouchability was banished, it stopped existing? No. But those legislations went so far in making that happen. Secondly, most importantly, you look at same-sex marriage, right? In the same way that you look at those discriminations. So when you talk about homophobia, that is still going to exist. I agree, but homophobia today exists on an institutional
Sir,
level.
did
If we
377
get rid
removal
of it on
lead
an
to
institutional level, that's
did
the only way we
did
can get
did
it back.
did 377 removal lead to less discrimination of homophobia or
Yes,
how did it?
yes.
It actually increased. It
Listen,
actually
listen. If
increased.
you had a
Sir, sir,
pre Navjot Singh Johar versus Union of India, if you had a same sex couple living next to you, you could
even
call the cops and get them arrested. That's not
no,
possible.
that is a
That
very
is
different.
called
That is specific
deinstitutionalization
action
of
being taken to the
discrimination.
discrimination, but still does not mean that discrimination is being prevented because legal action is not being taken to those particular.
I am
Because
saying
of
no. I am
legalization,
saying that
discrimination does
they
not decrease in
can't do.
any country.
They can't listen. I am saying it is a step forward to end discrimination.
It is
It's a very
not. It
vital
will
step forward
actually
to end
increase just
discrimination.
like it did in 377.
Are
As soon as they see families being developed under homosexuality, the discrimination will increase. And not only the
so
people who are
that
homosexual will face
same thing
discrimination,
must have
their
happened with
children will
intercaste
face
couples.
discrimination, their
Same thing.
family will face discrimination.
Sneh,
Everybody in those particular societies which will be built, they will all face discrimination.
sneh. Just because you face, there's a possibility of facing discrimination,
I'm not
doesn't
saying because of
stop
the possibility
untouchables from living.
does
Uh,
not mean that it
That
should
does
not be
not stop
allowed,
them from living.
but means there
Similarly,
is more far-fetched problem that needs to be solved
but
before
why is it
this.
a choice? You still haven't told me that. Why is it a choice?
It is of course a choice because there are multiple other problems that are not being
No,
addressed
no,
before
I
this.
agree that there are multiple other problems.
Yes.
I
So
agree. You
right
give,
now, sir, the
listen,
time
you
allotment
need
that
to
the legislature
amend
will
the SMA
require.
to say spouse. That is the cure.
Sir, the
Practically
amount
the
of
cure.
time legislature will require to this, or even amount of time the judiciary will be
So
required to
red tape,
solve this, will take us so long.
government
It
red
takes
tape
so
is the
long.
reason why we should not legalize same-sex marriage, right?
No, it is not this. It is time that is the reason that we should not allow same-sex
So
marriage.
because it takes a long time, let us not do
No,
it. देर
it
आए
is
दुरुस्त
the
आए नहीं.
current
आओ ही मत.
time.
तुम दे रहा हो और आओ ही मत.
See, it is not about not only about how much time it will take. It is also about what time or what current situation is. That is what is the main problem, sir.
So wait. So
Time is
the
a
reason
very
we have the
broad
courts
concept.
and the reason we have the courts and not a mob or the not the legislature itself doing it is because we know that sometimes the people are not right in their beliefs. There was a time where people believed that intercaste is wrong. There was a time where people believed that Savarna are the only good
Sir,
people. My
even if
point is that
that is the
people
case, it
believing
violates
something does
human
not make
rights.
it
It
true.
violates human rights. Not giving marriage does not violate human rights. It does not violate
It
any
does.
fundamental rights.
It does.
It does
In fact,
not
I'll tell
violate
you.
any fundamental rights.
I'll
Name
tell
me one
you.
fundamental right.
Article 21 and Article 14.
Expand
I'll
on
tell
it.
you why Article 14. No, I'll give you a very
It
simple
does not.
explanation.
It does not at all.
Article 14, to people who don't know, is is the right to equality. Now, under a right to equality, you have a group of people who are not allowed to undertake an activity that others are because of a certain sexual inclination. Now, therefore it could be violative of right to equality.
But
Now,
that is
the
no, it
next
is not.
question
It
that the
is
court
not. But
examined,
because that is
no,
in the same way as you say
no,
that it is a choice and not an obligation.
no,
That is why I said that particular
but
statement here.
listen.
Because when it comes to
You should have the choice
obligation,
to
that is
marry.
where. Yeah,
Snake, you should have the choice to marry. No, they
no.
don't have a choice to marry at all.
Exactly that particular point. I'm saying it is not obligation for them to marry. They are allowed to have a
Are
relationship, and that is all they need.
Sneh, listen to me. Try to understand. Okay, when you look at this discrimination which is happening, and when you look at the constitutionality of it all, the court went into why the court couldn't act on it. The court admitted
Yeah,
that there is
because
there
it is a
there is
social
action that is
problem.
needed, but the court itself could not act upon
And
it.
legislative will never do it because it
But
is something
so
that goes against
legislative
the
will
social
never do it
problem.
because all legislatures
It is a sad
are greedy
reality.
politicians,
It is
because
a
of
sad
governmental red
reality.
tape, because of culture wars, because of
Sir, that
religious
is the
wars.
main
We
problem
should
for
not do something which is genuinely good.
sir
That is the argument.
as J. Sai Deepak says it is a good cause but not a case. As simple
So
as that.
again, on that particular point, can you let me just explain the law of it, the
Yeah, yeah,
constitutionality of it
yeah.
all? So I am passionate about this. I've read Supreme. Point is that when you talk about Article 14, when I was talking about Article 14, it is violative because a certain group of people are not allowed to undertake something. Now, this something has to be your fundamental right. For it to be violative of the constitution, to for you not to be allowed to do it. Now, is right to marry a fundamental right? Our
I
Chief
say no.
Justice, fair enough. Our Chief Justice says it is. The
In
majority
his
says
own
no. I'm
statement said
not
it is
using
not a
that as an
fundamental.
argument. I'm
Yeah,
not using it as an
yeah.
argument. What I am saying is, think about it in your personal life. You and your spouse are one unit in the eyes of the law, in the eyes of the society. You have privilege. You have, I mean, I'm talking about privilege as in
Huh,
you can't testify against each
huh,
other in court.
huh.
You have things like finance, you have insurance, you have all these things. Now, if you have a life partner who is of your same sex, tell me, why can't you and your life partner be allowed to access all these benefits? Because of, I mean, agreed, there the public is not in favor of it. I agree, I am with you that 50, more than 50% of
Sir,
people in
if
India are
any
not in favor of
particular
it.
thing violates the social conundrum of that particular or the social sanctity of a particular thing, then it should not be addressed.
But then there was a time where banning polygamy, or what Raja Ram Mohan Roy did in Sati, was
There
also
is
against the social sanctity.
sir,
They
because
must never have done it.
but even if we talk about polygamy, this will actually increase the cases of polygamy.
How does it do that?
It of course
Please
does
tell
it.
me.
That is
Because
exactly
what it
so
does
that
is it damages heterosexual couples, you know. Because under this culture, the culture that gave you yourself, under that culture, you get
the
married to
same
someone being a
particular thing.
homosexual, and then you ruin
No,
your
no, no.
life, and
So
then you
that is
ruin that
actually
person's
what
life.
PW thought. That is actually what PW thought. But according to their research, what happened is because of the particular same-sex marriage, they wanted a child, and then therefore because of which they took loopholes of the same laws and went into polygamy. And it actually increased those particular cases. And mind it, there are no particular reforms still there for divorce or any particular
So
inheritance act
reform
in that
them.
particular.
I'm not,
Not
look.
just
You
here,
are
but
giving
any
me
particular
technical
countries.
loopholes and
So
saying that is why it should not be legalized. I am saying take your time
I
and
am
make it.
not
Make
I
a
am
good
not
legislation, yeah.
it sir, it should not be done as of now because there are multiple other legislation that are not being done.
अरे
I'm see,
यार, why is
मैं
it
वही बोल रहा हूँ
why
because
is
of
it a
all of this
challenge?
stuff I am not saying कि ये नहीं होना चाहिए. मैं बोल रहा हूँ कि अभी तो बिल्कुल नहीं होना चाहिए.
So your right is being violated. Okay,
Hmm.
you are being discriminated against on an institutional level, social level to hai. All
Hmm.
of this is happening, but yaar, because some other legislations are more
But sir
important,
कितना but
we will
यार
not help you out. Is
कितना
that what
but
the
यार
government is saying?
दूसरे
I
सारे
think the
प्रॉब्लम्स
government of
एड्रेस हो
India is
नहीं रहा है.
sufficient in
सर
its power
ना
and
तो सर चाइल्ड
sufficient.
का प्रॉब्लम सॉल्व हो रहा है, ना डिस्क्रिमिनेशन का प्रॉब्लम सॉल्व हो रहा है, ना दूसरे कोई प्रॉब्लम सॉल्व हो रहा है,
तो
ना इसका
आप
कोई
कोई
प्रॉब्लम
स्टेप
सॉल्व हो रहा है,
लेने ही
ना
नहीं दोगे तो
इनहेरिटेंस का
कैसे सॉल्व
प्रॉब्लम सॉल्व हो
होगा?
रहा है. तो इसीलिए
लिसन, यू
बोला
डोंट
ना,
लेट
अगर
द
ये सारे
गवर्नमेंट टेक अ
प्रॉब्लम
स्टेप.
जब तक सॉल्व नहीं हो रहे तब तक ये लेजिस्लेशन बनाने का क्या मतलब, क्योंकि जैसे ये लेजिस्लेशन बन गया इन सबसे पहले तो ये सारे प्रॉब्लम एक्चुअली बढ़ जाएंगे.
ये ना ये
So to
this is a
avoid
false,
all the
there's
other
a
five
false
problems,
equivalency here.
the one
There's
problem
a
should
false
be solved
equivalency here.
first.
What you are, Sneh, what you are doing, there's a false equivalency here. You have two bar graphs. You are saying एक ऊपर जाएगा तो दूसरा 100% नीचे जाएगा. You have
100%
no
का बोला ही
proof
नहीं
of
है
that.
सर.
You have no
इंक्रीज
proof
हो
of
रहा
that.
है ना सर,
What are these
इंक्रीज
other
तो हो ही रहा है ना
legislations?
सर.
Please tell me
आई
that
नो
we should have them before same-sex marriage.
the all the five problems that I have said that should be addressed first. The transgender people should be
Address
addressed first.
them. Address them.
Exactly, those should be done
Make them
before.
part of the
अगर
same
ये
bill.
पहले एड्रेस कर
अरे
दिया
यार,
तो वो
I'm
सारे
saying
इंक्रीज हो जाएगी.
Look, the question is whether it should be legalized or not. You are saying it should be just abhi mat karo. I'm saying, ठीक है, I get that. Take 3 years, pass these 5 legislations,
3 years,
then pass this one.
it is impossible. How can you
But
remove
look. Then
discrimination
again,
in
then
3
again,
years?
you are saying judiciary can't do anything because it's a cultural issue. Then you are saying legislatures
Legislative
will never do anything.
will
Why
never do
would they
it
do it? Because you are
because the
saying
other
that
problems are not addressed. Say, for example, discrimination. As soon as
you
discrimination
are
is being
saying, I'm
addressed,
saying address
socially
them,
people
yaar.
will support it.
I'm saying take 3 years, address them, then legalize
3
it.
years
So
में
it
सर
should be
discrimination
legalized. In
कैसे
short,
solve होगा?
Snake Khatri is
I
saying
am
कि
saying not right now. As simple as that. It is impossible to do right, and it should not be.
so, अरे यार,
छोड़
impossible to
अभी
do.
अभी ये टॉपिक अगर नहीं छोड़ेंगे ना तो दूसरे टॉपिक पे नहीं हो पाएंगे, ठीक
हाँ
है?
वो
तो
भी है.
लेट्स लिसन फ्रॉम पीपल व्हाट दे थिंक अबाउट दिस पर्टिकुलर थिंग. कैसा लगा इन जनरल डिबेट? हम तो ऐसे ही चलाते रहेंगे, हमें बहुत मजा आया इस टॉपिक में, टू बी वेरी ऑनेस्ट ब्रो. ये आउट ऑफ द फ्लो चला गया. नेवर हैव बीन द फर्स्ट
Yeah.
टॉपिक बीन दिस लॉन्ग, टू बी वेरी ऑनेस्ट. बहुत मजा आया.
बहुत मजा आया. This was a good debate, yeah.
है ना, बहुत
Now,
मजा आया. And I
I
like how
think,
free flowing event, मेरे को बहुत अच्छा लगा ये. I
yeah, me
never
too.
thought, मेरे को ऐसा लगता था कि फॉर्मेट में जितना अच्छे से रखेंगे उतना ज्यादा डिबेट हो पाएगा.
No, a free flowing debate requires two humans, in my opinion, who can let the other person speak.
I mean, we should give people idea of whom we are talking about also.
No, I'm just saying. But
But no guys, what do you guys think about this? ऊपर से चैट पढ़ो भाई. हाँ ठीक है, मैं थोड़ा थोड़ा बीच में पढ़ रहा था.
wait,
So
someone is saying that marriage is for child.
I mean,
I mean, I wholeheartedly disagree there.
the child does not have a choice. So
Someone wrote, "Who's the Kanye of this one?"
of course Pratyush, man, he's the winner. So yeah, I who gave award to Kanye? Maybe I'm that. So yeah, as Sarthak says it, मैं कश्मीर गया था. So Sarthak is saying, so Sneh is essentially saying that we must delay the same-sex marriage ka law and all because there are more pressing problems that must be addressed first. Kind of, yes. It cannot be suppressed into just one statement, as simple as that. But yeah, अंदर अंदर बातें चल रही है. This debate is going awesome. भाई क्या बोल रहा हूँ?
Yeah.
नहीं भाई, बहुत
चलो,
मजा आया. I think Sneh का
let's.
point की legalization won't affect discrimination was very strong. I mean, all of my statements are strong only. Sorry man, I have that problem. But हाँ ठीक है, बहुत मजा आया. ठीक है, आयुष बोल रहा है मुझे विनर बनना है. प्रत्युष भैया टिप्स दे दो.
यार तुम विनर हो. You have been a finalist twice.
अरे
You've been a finalist twice. You don't need, bhai, you are the future. You don't need tips.
अरे सबसे टिप्स लेगा क्या? Arya is saying pressing issues are subjective, to be honest. For some, legalization and realization of same-sex marriage would be pressing issues. For others, it may not. Yeah, fair point. But that is how it is for all cases, right?
Yeah, there's subjectivity to every debate and every bias, I guess. Either way,
Monogamy.
I think we should move on to the
अच्छा, करना चाहिए.
sauce of it all, the relevance. I think this is the most controversial, the most
इसमें
relevant.
टाइमर रखना ही नहीं ना, क्योंकि हम दोनों वैसे भी टाइमर को देख तो रहे नहीं.
नहीं
ठीक
नहीं,
है,
हम लोग
तो
कर
चलो
रहे हैं.
फिर
I don't think,
रिजर्वेशन
yeah.
पे डायरेक्टली जाते हैं. गाइस, वी आर डिबेटिंग ऑन reservation system where Pratyush is in for of it and I am in against of it, and we will start our debate with a statement from Pratyush first. Go Pratyush.
Okay, so I think reservation का जो है, let us take it in a context of a hypothetical that I'm going to give you. Okay, say you are in a race. आपके पास सुपर कार है, आपके पास you have the Porsche 911 GT3 RS, right? And the guy next to you is on Bhide's old scooter, right? Now you finish the race with 20 points, and that guy having Bhide's scooter is scoring 10 points. Now, who deserves to learn how to drive?
First of all, I would say Porsche would never complete the race because he would indefinitely crash with the PD scooter and write an essay. But when it comes to this particular example also, one need to realize who is sitting in the Porsche and who is always been on the PD or will always be on the PD. Because person who is sitting on in the Porsche, his father must be the one who has taken benefit of reservation in a class 1 job, and that is what gave him all the
That,
funds and all the
my
stuff
friend,
which made it him reach into that particular Porsche.
that, my friend, is a hilarious misstatement. I'm so sorry. Now here is let us dissect the argument. Okay, reservation is not given for economical reasons per se. ठीक है, इज गिवन फॉर सोशल रीजंस. आपके पास 20,000 जॉब्स हैं गवर्नमेंट की जो रिजर्व है. अभी उससे लाखों करोड़ों लोग का इकोनॉमिक सिचुएशन अच्छा नहीं हो जाएगा. व्हाट इट इज अ सोशल थिंग. नाउ इफ यू आर अगेंस्ट reservation, I think, as far as my memory goes back, for 5,000 6,000 years, there were 100% reservation only for Brahmins, for no one else. 100% reservation everywhere.
I don't agree to that too. I'm against
No,
reservation system
let
as a
me
whole.
just finish. Let me
It's
just finish
correct.
the point. Let me just finish the
Yeah.
point. I know you don't agree. Point is that there was reservation for 5,000 years only for Brahmins. There was all the opportunity even before colonialism to go to Nalanda, and after colonialism to go to Oxford for these people. They were not, they were ruling. Now, then you have these people who, for 5,000 years, have been subjugated to worst things of manual scavenging, worse than slaves they were. They were no one. And from there, in 70 years, if you are to take someone there, then you need to uplift them. It's affirmative action. You need to take it. And it is only through that. And now I'm not saying that there are no flaws. I'm saying creamy layer problem does exist.
Exactly.
I am
Exactly.
saying ये
That
सब
is
कुछ
where
चलता
I
है.
was
मैं ना
coming
नहीं
from.
बोल रहा स्नेह.
हाँ.
But I think I'm going to use your point in saying कि गाड़ी चलाने वाले को बदल के आप गाड़ी देखो. अगर गाड़ी चलाने वाला खराब होगा तो वो कोई भी गाड़ी क्रैश कर देगा.
नहीं
You,
सर.
the
Exactly.
reservation system का
I
fault नहीं है. It's how it's run.
अगर अगर पॉपुलेशन पूरे में से भी अगर पोर्शे भीड़े में बिठाओगे ना सर, तो देन आल्सो मेजॉरिटी ऑफ पीपल विल बी सिटिंग इन पोर्शे एज वेल एज भीड़े. बोथ ऑफ देम विल बी द पीपल विल टेक एनी एज बेनिफिट ऑफ रिजर्वेशन, क्योंकि इतने सारे रिजर्वेशन इन प्लेसेस. व्हेन वी टेक एग्जांपल ऑफ से फॉर एग्जांपल जस्ट इन जनरल कैटेगरीज आल्सो ईडब्ल्यूसी आ चुका है, ओबीसी है, एससी था पहले से, एसटी था पहले से, और पीडब्ल्यूडी है. बहुत सारे रिजर्वेशन हो चुके, इतने सारे रिजर्वेशन हो चुके कि सब ऑलमोस्ट एवरीबॉडीज आर अडियरिंग टू दैट पर्टिकुलर रिजर्वेशन. एंड व्हेन इट कम्स टू योर केसेस ऑफ सेइंग दैट 5,000 साल से वो लोग भुगत रहे हैं, 5,000 साल से वो लोग बैकवर्ड है. सबसे पहले तो अगर 5,000 साल से वो लोग बैकवर्ड थे, तो अभी के लोग ने कोई प्रोसिक्यूशन फेस नहीं किया. अभी के लोगों के पास सेम अपॉर्चुनिटी थी जो ब्राह्मण्स के पास थी, जो किसी भी जनरल कैटेगरी वाले के पास थी. दूसरी चीज, अगर उनके पास वो अपॉर्चुनिटीज नहीं थी और फिर भी अगर वो आगे नहीं बढ़ पाए, तो सर रिजर्वेशन सिस्टम वैसे भी काम नहीं कर रहा. देन इट इज इन एनी वेज अ
That is,
फेलियर.
there are so many problems. You are
Let me
saying,
complete my
you are
particular
saying, wait,
argument.
wait, wait.
Let me complete
Okay.
my particular argument. When it comes to that particular cases, why I say कि पोर्शे में बैठने वाला आदमी जो है उसका बाप क्लास 1 ऑफिसर होगा, बिकॉज शायद वो उसी पर्टिकुलर प्रॉब्लम फेस करता हुआ आ रहा होगा, लेकिन उसी रिजर्वेशन के बेनिफिट को लेके वो इतना पैसा कमाया, क्लास 1 ऑफिसर बना, एंड देन आफ्टर व्हेन हिज ओन सन wants to give UPSC exam, what he will do is he will resign from his post, he will gift all of his property to his son, so that his son can take benefit of the EWC reservation in the UPSC itself. वो अपनी इनकम 7.95 कर देगा ताकि वो 8 लाख के ब्रैकेट के अंदर आ सके, और वो उसी बेटे को बेनिफिट दिलवा के
I
फिर से he will
agree.
give.
Listen, Sneh, I agree with you
It
on
is an
this.
endless loop.
I agree with you fully on the what you have talked about. I'm saying reservation एक बार मिलना चाहिए. ठीक है?
Exactly.
एक
I
बार
agree to
मिलना
that.
चाहिए. एक सेकंड. I am saying reservation एक बार दो. अब creamy layer को हटा दो. We all know what creamy layer is. Now, when you talked about the one problem that I had with your point is you said that आज जो यहाँ पे हैं उनके पास सबके पास equal opportunity है. ठीक है. Now I think everyone, all the 15 people listening and both of us, I think all of us are privileged enough to have some house help. ठीक है, जो आपके घर पे सफाई करने आते हैं, whoever. अगर मेरा क्लैट में जेन्युइन रियल रैंक था 2600, was around the 2600 rank. If my house help son is getting even 5,000, doing half as well as me, after my father has spent all of this money, then in my opinion he deserves a seat. I know you don't agree. एक दूसरा और इम्पोर्टेंट पार्ट ये है, द रीजन आई से 5,000 साल वाला मैंने जो आपको एग्जांपल दिया, वो इसलिए रेलेवेंट है क्योंकि आज आपके पापा के पास पैसा था तो आप पॉर्श में बैठे। उसने उसको पॉर्श का मतलब ही नहीं पता। He does not, he has,
he knows it। यही गलत फैमिली हो रही है सर, यहाँ पे ही डिस्कनेक्ट आ रहा है ना सर। अगर आपके वहां पे जो मेड है उसका बेटा आपसे अच्छा है पढ़ने में, तो उसको आपकी सीट मिलनी चाहिए। इट शुड बी मेरिटोरियल बेस्ड, एज सिंपल एज दैट। If he
merit is a myth.
deserves a OPC
Merit is a myth.
seat,
Merit is a myth. I said
merit
again,
is not a myth.
if it
If
is a
merit is a
race,
myth, then
sneh,
examination
sneh,
is a
sneh,
myth.
sneh. Merit is a myth. If there is a race, you are on a supercar and that guy is in Bide scooter, you are going to beat him
Sir,
10 times out of 10.
no, of course not. It is not. No, it is.
How would you
Sir,
not beat someone
sir,
in
if
Bide
you are
scooter
giving any
in a
particular,
sports car?
सर चलो ठीक है, देर आर मल्टीपल एग्जाम्स, ठीक है, एग्जाम्स जो देते हैं, ठीक है, आईआईटी का एग्जाम ले लो या फिर एम्स का एग्जाम्पल ले लो या फिर यूपीएससी का एग्जाम्पल ले लो, वट एवर नीट एंड ऑल ऑफ द एग्जाम्स दे गिव, all of the people participate in it from all background or all economic backgrounds do participate in it, right? When it comes to UPSC, if you are from a general category with no reservation involved, you need to rank from 1 to 75 to become IAS officer. But if you are under reservation, you can rank up to 400 to be part of the same reservation system or to get the same seat that might be deserving for top 100 people. And that is where I say that meritocracy is not a myth, because that is the same UPSC examination that everybody is giving. Those are the same material that everybody is reading.
No, but everyone is giving that exam. No, the question is not that everyone's giving that exam. Question is everyone having the same resources to prepare for that exam? आपके पास आज इंटरनेट है, आपके पास लैपटॉप है, आपके पास ये
But
सब कुछ है,
do you
उसके
think that
पास एक
people,
नोटबुक के
do
पैसे
you
भी नहीं है।
think, so there are
देखो
5 lakh
देखो
people giving UPSC
Sneh,
exam,
Sneh,
do you
let
think
me
they don't
finish
have
my
internet?
point. Let me finish my point about UPSC and competitive exams. First of all, when you talk about UPSC, आपने 12th फेल देखी? Now tell me what resources that man has. I am saying what एक second स्नेह यार, एक second. I am saying today we are in a setup where I have this everything जी का mat, I have this keyboard, I have this mouse, ये laptop, वो iMac, ये TV. I have all these things. These things are only going to help me work better. They are going to stimulate. एक second, एक second. These things, these resources that I have of having a laptop or an internet connection, a good supply of everything, of constant the comfort of living in my home I have. My house help son does not have that. Now even in that situation, now how are you telling me that both of us are running the same race on equal pedestal when he has no resources that I have? I paid 1 lakh to for CLAT coaching. He can't even pay half of the, he can't even pay 1% of that properly.
Okay, fine. You have some extra study material is what you are saying. You have some iPad which is helping you to study is what you are saying.
No,
If
that
that
is
is
the
the
study
particular
material.
case,
That is the study
so
material.
firstly, the exams are never conducted on the study materials. Other than that, all the resources that are needed to conduct any top examination are available for free. All the basic educations as well as anything that is required for those particular things are available. Are you saying that people who have iPad, people who go to this coaching center never fail? And are you saying that people who don't go to this coaching center never pass? They do. That is the actual proof. Majority of people who go to all of this courses and all of this high paid institutes fail, and majority of people who don't go through this and have studied in a very adverse condition actually pass, not on the
That
basis
is
of
because of
reservation.
reservation. Say
No,
how many
that
all
is where
India
I'm
ranked
completely
ones you do you know?
no, that is
How
not because of
many?
reservation.
एक मिनट स्ने you said all of these courses are available for free. ठीक है? कितने लोगों के पास वाईफाई सब्सक्रिप्शन इन दिस इन एक सेकंड हाउ
लाइब्रेरी तो
मेनी
है ना
पीपल
सर,
हाउ
जहां पे
मेनी
भी जा
पीपल
रहे
हैव
हो,
द रिसोर्सेज टू एक्सेस
जहां
देम?
पे भी जा रहे हो लाइब्रेरी तो है सर, लाइब्रेरी गवर्नमेंट की
नहीं
बहुत
है,
सारी है।
नहीं है।
अरे
स्ने
सर, जहां पे वो लोग स्टडी करने जाते, सी इट्स
तुम
नॉट लाइक अ केस दैट दे आर गिविंग एग्जाम्स फ्रॉम देयर villages. They
it
are
is that
moving to
case.
Delhi.
It is that
Sir,
case. It is
firstly, all
precisely.
of the
Listen,
examinations are conducted in a place where there is a center, and those centers are always situated in places where there is the proper amount of institution available. In those institutions, wherever they are available, all the people who want to give their examination, they will move to those cities. Majority of people do move to
okay,
Delhi.
okay,
Majority of people do
I,
move to, say,
I
for
get your
example,
point. I
Ahmedabad.
get your point about moving. I get your point
Fine.
about all of that. No, I
So
get
then
your point
move.
about
They have access to
no,
all
no,
these resources. Use it.
I get
That
your
is no
point.
isn't justification of reservation.
I get Sneh. I get your point about all of that. 100% I get your point. 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 100% So you are telling me I can sit here on my chair in my bedroom, surrounded by four of my family members, being served pani, being served सब कुछ यहाँ पे मेरे पास, मैं अपनी फैमिली के साथ एक हेल्दी एनवायरनमेंट में कर सकता हूँ. बट I should be compared equally with a person who has to move from a village, go away from their family, come to a city, and they don't have money to spend to study for 1 or 2 years like I am going to, or have the ability to take a drop like I might. They are going to have to work another job, then come to some dingy old library which we do not have enough of, and study whatever they can from there. And you are telling me that you are going to compare it to my full time studying, my resources, my like
Two
everything that
points to
I
this.
have.
No, no, sir. 2 points to this. Firstly, reservation system will never examine that whether you are studying or whether you are studying or not. All of the things that you are mentioning, the reservation system will not solve that particular problem also. When it comes to those particular problems, you studying with all the water, all the resources, even a drop here to be allowed, you might not be as intelligent or as meritorious as someone who did not go through all of those time but still was able to conquer it because
How
he
many
deserved those
AIR ones
particular
do you
seats,
know who are
because
OBC,
he
ST, ST?
deserved those particular
You
seats.
are not, Are yaar, you are not getting what I'm saying. I'm saying that that person is using his extra. I am an average student. Only a super intelligent person can beat me, and another average student from that category can't beat me because he has an inherent problem. He does not have the resources. मैं बोल रहा हूँ ना, रेस है, मेरे पास सुपर कार है, उसके पास बीड़े का स्कूटर है, मैं
रेस
जीत
नहीं
ही
है
जाऊंगा.
सर, रेस ऐसा नहीं है
अरे
सर.
यार, यू हैव करियर, एक सेकंड, यू हैव करियर लॉन्चर, मॉक टेस्ट, ये वो फलाना टिकना, यू हैव ऑल दीज रिसोर्सेज. दैट पर्सन.
Then I might fail because I don't deserve it, because I don't
Arey
have
yaar,
merit to.
my point is not individualistic. Look at it as a whole. There's a group of people who have sports cars, who have every single resource in the world. There's another group of people who have never had any
Sir,
resources in the world.
those other people
Reservation
who,
is to give them
okay,
resources.
sir, all the
उनके
other
पास.
people who are in this course are also on the OBCs. That is not the problem, sir. What
हाँ तो वो
I'm not
निकाल दो.
against.
I agree. Listen,
Exactly. Let's
Sneh.
address those loopholes now. Chalo, let's address
अरे
those
एक सेकंड,
loopholes.
loopholes, एक
Okay.
सेकंड,
हाँ, ठीक है.
before we address loopholes, let me tell you that this exercise is completely useless because I agree. मैं अग्री करता हूँ, रिजर्वेशन में बहुत तकलीफ है आज.
What
मैं
loopholes?
ये नहीं बोल रहा कि आज का 20 जून, जुलाई 23 का रिजर्वेशन सिस्टम जैसा है वैसा स्टिक कर दो. You will find me the last person to say that. I am saying reservation needs many reforms. In fact, it needs completely new legislation.
Yes.
But I am saying that it is still a good system at its core. What you are painting it as is that सब क्रीमी लेयर वाले, जितने SC ST OBC है, सब क्रीमी लेयर वाले, सबके पास लैपटॉप है, सबके पास फ्री इंटरनेट है, सबके पास वो फ्री चीजें एक्सेस करने का
There
सामान है.
is possibility of access. Reservation is not that particular solution, and I think we both are the same page. The reservation is not the best solution, right? Let's try. Let's try to see what kind of solutions do you see
Like, give me
in
an
this particular.
alternative to it.
Okay, I'll give you
Because
three, four
what, you know what
alternatives.
reservation does? I'll tell you a very
Yeah,
good
yeah.
story to show you. As a neat person who wants to become a doctor, what reservation does today, and I'm not talking about government, I'm talking about that because very microscopic people go for that compared to everything else.
Hmm.
I am saying, as a person who wants to become a doctor, you get reservation for your medical uh, education, so that you have an equal footing to learn to learn the laws of medical. I don't know what it's
Yeah,
called,
I get it.
but you have an equal footing to gain medical education,
Okay.
right, with more privileged people.
Okay.
Reservation ends there. Okay, now in educational purposes, reservation ends there. It's not going to guarantee that you open a good clinic. It's not going to guarantee that you open that you get a
It's
better
going to guarantee
internship
that
than
you're going to
others.
open a bad clinic than the one who deserved that particular seat.
क्या? नो, बट अगेन मेरा ओपिनियन है कि अगर मेरे हाउस हेल्प का बेटा मुझसे आधा भी अच्छा कर रहा है, ही डिजर्व द सीट मोर देन मी. इनफैक्ट आई मिस लिसन आई probably missed I mean, I got into GNLU at the end, but I probably missed in the first round because of reservation. I'm good with it. If the person's truly from that category,
Then
does not have the resources,
he will
take
open a
my
better
seat,
clinic than you.
because that person perhaps deserves it more than I do.
Yes, then he gets it, as simple as that. If he is better at you, then he will open a better clinic than you, and that's why he deserves it. If he was given a reservation where you deserve that particular seat and he was given that seat, and that's where he didn't deserve it, and that's where he will not open a better clinic than you, because
You are
you deserve
saying
that
that
particular seat
CLAT
which
के
was
marks
given to
और
someone.
NEET के marks are indicative
Whether it
of
be
your
anyone,
deservingness.
whether it be anyone.
I disagree on
No,
that
I'm not
premise
saying those
only.
marks. I am saying the position in aims will make you better. I am
That's
saying the
exactly what I'm
seat.
saying.
Exactly. So your seat was given to someone else. The seat that you deserve to be was given to someone else.
I
So all the
my
trainings was
point is
given to
I didn't
someone else.
deserve the seat only. Sneh, why you
Because
saying it
sir,
like that?
you were sitting with an iPad and you passed the same examination that you gave. You don't deserve it. That is, I think, your humility. And let's come to
Listen.
solutions now.
You are
So
running.
let
एक
me.
second, एक second, एक second, एक second. Just one last bit. I want to make this example as clear as day. You are in a race. You have a sports car. सामने वाला भिड़े का स्कूटर पे. तुम सेम रेस पे हो. तुम सेम रेस पे हो.
तो रेस
तुम्हारा
में है
स्टार्टिंग
ना
लाइन
अभी
सेम है.
सर.
तुम्हारा स्टार्टिंग लाइन सेम है. पर तुम्हारे रिसोर्स इतना ज्यादा है, तुम वो इजीली पार कर दोगे यार.
सर तुम गाड़ी को नहीं देख रहे ना, तुम ट्रैक को हिला रहे हो. रिजर्वेशन सिस्टम जो है वो ट्रैक को हिला रहा है, वो फिनिश लाइन ही अलग ड्रॉ कर रहा है दो आदमी के लिए.
हाँ, पता है क्यों? क्योंकि दोनों आदमी की कैपेबिलिटी ही अलग है, उनकी कैपेसिटी अलग है.
वही बात है ना सर. इंस्टेड ऑफ प्लेसिंग देम ऑन
अरे
पर्सन,
वो
इंस्टेड ऑफ
कैपेसिटी
प्लेसिंग देम
अलग
ऑन अ
क्यों है
कार.
वो सोच उसने. Why is that capacity and capability different? Because of a
रिकॉग्निशन नहीं आता ना
historical
सर.
and it is because of historical
तुम किसी
lack
आदमी
of
को
those resources जहां से capability आती है.
तुम किसी आदमी को पोर्शन में बिठा रहे हो और भीड़े के स्कूटर में बिठा रहे हो, तब तुम उन्हें नहीं पूछ रहे हो कि तुम किसी कास्ट के हो. लेकिन जब वो दौड़ रहे हैं तो तुम ऐसा बोल रहे हो कि भीड़े वाले का तो अनफेयर है, इसलिए उसको दे दो, उसकी लाइन नीची कर दो. बट वो किस पर्टिकुलर कास्ट का. पहले तो चलो, जब मैं सॉल्यूशन पे आता हूँ ना सर, तो मैं चाहता हूँ कि कास्ट का नाम और निशान ही मिटा. I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why. When it comes to the problem, or say for example of America or any particular abroad country where the N word is used for African people, I am actually in opposition of that. I'll tell you why. Because even blocking that N word, say for example, for white people to say because it is disrespectful, I say that N word should be removed from dictionary. I say that N word should be removed from the curriculum so that people forget it. If you remove caste as a criteria, people will soon forget it. And the
Okay,
removal of this
so
caste system is more important than
going
anything
back
else.
to the last,
If you
going
keep
back
addressing that, if I know that my friend is OBC and is not working in his examination because he knows he's gonna, even if he gets less mark than me, he's gonna
अरे
get
पर वो
qualified.
तुम्हारा
That is
फ्रेंड
what.
है ना, वो
तो
तुम्हारे
सर
कैटेगरी में
that is
तुम्हारे साथ
what
कोचिंग
makes
क्लास
me
में आ रहा है, तो ही
feel
डज नॉट डिजर्व
bad.
रिजर्वेशन.
That is what makes me. Exactly my point. The loopholes are so
हाँ
big
तो
that everybody
तुम
is
ये
working
बोल
in
रहे
that.
हो कि ये सारे यही लोग हैं.
Now,
आई एम सेइंग ये
to
सारे
remove
लोग
that,
नहीं है.
to
स्ने स्ने
remove
स्ने
that,
स्ने एक
economic,
मिनट एक
firstly, economic that you are taking constantly example of, economy is never a good way of giving reservation.
मैं सोशल भी बोल रहा हूँ यार. दैट
That
अप्लाइज टू एवरीथिंग. तुम मंदिर जा
I
सकते हो,
am
वो
saying,
नहीं जा पा रहा है यार
I am saying
सेम
scholarship
मंदिर
लाओ.
में.
Scholarships are way better.
पर तुम एक मिनट एक मिनट
Meritorious के basis पे लाओ ना. ये क्या है caste?
एक मिनट. स्कॉलरशिप की तुम बात कर रहे हो. कौन सी यूनिवर्सिटी में अगर रिजर्वेशन हटा दोगे, विच यूनिवर्सिटी विल एक्सेप्ट दैट स्कॉलरशिप? एट द
Because
एंड ऑफ द डे वो रिजर्वेशन तो होगा. एक मिनट यार. एक there are a lot of misconceptions about what caste discrimination truly looks like on the ground level. Okay, what it truly looks like is कि I can't get
not
away from
given
this
chance is
example.
what I'm saying, right? Not given a chance at all is how the discrimination happens according to me.
No, I am saying given. अरे यार, you have one leg.
Given an
You are
unfair
running a race
chance.
against a person who has two legs.
Okay, given an unfair chance is what you are saying, right? Given an
It
unfair
is
chance.
completely unfair.
So, firstly, reservation does not recognize what is unfair and what is fair because it fails to do that, right? Because of the particular loop. And that is where I'm coming to. Let us, I understand that it is an unfair advantage for them. I understand your point. Now, let's move on to how to solve this loopholes finally, right? So, when it comes to them not having equals, firstly, giving them admission in IITs, IIMs, or any particular top institute should be removed. Reservation on those at least top institutes should be meritorious. Because if a particular person gets even into NIT, was from say for example a OBC gets into NIT, his life will definitely agree. Would it or would it not?
It would.
right? So it is not necessary for them to get IIT reservation. Specifically, the institute which are top tier are only meant to get the top engineers or top people of the country. That is where meritorious should be there, and that is where reservation from AIMS, IIT, UPSC, all of the top institutes should be removed. Later on, that for some time it will be required where it should be. Although there are still loopholes in that. See, for example, because it was a temporary point or reservation, it was a temporary system, it is now being used as political tool. People
अरे
who
वो
say that
पॉलिटिकल, एक सेकंड एक सेकंड
हाँ,
एक सेकंड एक सेकंड, तू
वो
पॉलिटिकल लाओगे
मैटर
ना,
तो
एक
करता है ना, मैटर तो
नहीं
करता है ना सर,
मैटर, अरे हाँ तो मैं
पार्ट तो
बोल
है
रहा
ना
हूँ
चीजों का।
रिफॉर्म है। एक सेकंड, रिफॉर्म ऐसे तो काफी सारी चीजें पॉलिटिकल, डेमोक्रेसी खुद पॉलिटिकल है, क्या डेमोक्रेसी हटा दे? देख वो पॉइंट मतलब, वो पॉइंट मतलब, देख रुक रुक रुक, वो पॉइंट मतलब, तू जो एनआईटी और आईआईटी का मेरे को एग्जांपल दे रहा है, द एनआईटी आईआईटी एग्जांपल दैट दैट इज गिवन, सो द क्रक्स इज टॉप में मत छुओ, सब मीडियोकर में हम तुम्हें अलाउ कर देंगे।
टॉप में मेरिट पेज रखो, मैं ऐसा बोल रहा हूँ, मैं ऐसा
अरे
नहीं बोल
पर
रहा हूँ, बिकॉज
मेरिट, एक
मेरिटोरियस
सेकेंड
उनको बांटा
अगेन,
है
मेरिट
इसीलिए।
इज अ मिथ, merit depends upon the resources
Sir, how
that
can
you
you say merit is a
have.
myth? I don't understand how merit is a myth.
Look, there
Just
is a,
because,
there is, okay,
sir,
okay, for people,
if you are
who are
saying
listening, for people who are listening, to grasp my point better, because I don't think I've been able to do justice in explaining it very well, read Merit is the Myth of Meritocracy by Michael Sandel, and more importantly, read Gopal Guru, read other people who are Dalit scholars, read their scholarship. It's going to show you how it truly looks like. और मैं बोल रहा हूँ ना, reservation not the end or be your answer. ऐसा पता है क्या होता है? आप जेएनयू जाओ, आप हर जगह जाओ, आपको लोग बकासुर कहेंगे, बिकॉज आपको पहली बार दो बार का खाना मिल रहा है, बिकॉज यू आर ईटिंग, you will not be served in the same plates, you will not be allowed to sit on the same table. That is a reality of Indian colleges even today. But अगर reservation नहीं होता तो वो classroom में ही नहीं बैठा होता. Why don't you get it? Why the reason merit is a myth is because, listen, if merit, listen, what you are looking at the reservation as is an individualistic basis. Don't, ठीक है? तुम बोलोगे कि यार ये आदमी अगर पानी में है तो हाथ मार के बाहर क्यों नहीं आता? अरे क्योंकि हजारों साल से उसको जकड़ा गया है पानी में, वो नहीं बाहर आ पाएगा। It is not possible for him to do it. He needs help. Affirmative action. That's the point.
the person who is Bakasu, say for example, how is that being seen that whether he is from a caste or not? There is no proof of that. It is his economical situation which is making me eat food like that. It is not his caste. तो उधर कास्ट लाना बहुत ही गलत चीज है, बिकॉज ये एग्जांपल ही उस पॉइंट पे गलत होता है। जस्ट बिकॉज ही वाज नॉट गेटिंग फूड डज नॉट मीन ही वाज फ्रॉम अ डिफरेंट कास्ट। अगर कोई ऐसा आदमी कि जो मेरिट के बेसिस पे उधर है लेकिन उसे शायद खाना नहीं मिल रहा था, तो ही शुड बी देयर, एज सिंपल एज दैट। बट
अरे
जस्ट
यार,
बिकॉज
पर
ही
हाउ
इज
डू यू
फ्रॉम अ
डिसाइड,
कास्ट
यार
ही
हाउ डू यू पुट समवन हु डज नॉट हैव फूड टू ईट ट्वाइस नेक्स्ट टू मी एंड बी लाइक तुम दोनों इक्वल हो? अरे नहीं है
बिकॉज
यार, हम इक्वल, वी आर
है
नॉट
सर,
इक्वल।
बिकॉज वो रिजर्वेशन के बेसिस पे भी सेम एग्जाम दे रहा था ना, वो दूसरा दे रहा था, सेम रिसोर्सेज था उसके पास। बट जस्ट बिकॉज वो मेरिटोरियसली उससे अच्छा नहीं था, दैट इज व्हाई ही वाज गेटिंग दैट पर्टिकुलर।
if
It
the
was
start
reservation that gave him a seat, and it
if
is
the
the laziness
starting
of
line is
all of these
only
people who are
different,
getting this reservation.
अरे look, if the starting line is only different, or if the ability to cross the line is only different, how do you say that a person, look, so OBCs are at the end of the day competing with OBCs. Do you trying to understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, because they're majority.
50% quota is for
Yeah,
general.
they
You
are
are
a
competing
majority.
with general people for that 50% only. Okay?
Okay.
Point being, what reservation does is it puts you next to another people with a McLaren. You have a Porsche, it puts you next to a McLaren. BD scooter will be put next to some rickshaw person, a rickshaw, right? That is what reservation at the
But sir,
core
there
does.
is a
In
problem. There
practice,
is a
that's what it
problem. It
does.
is not 50-50. That is where the problem lies, na sir. Because say for example
So
EWS जब
एक
आ
second,
जाता है,
एक second, एक second.
EWD आ जाता है,
Okay. You know what?
I'll give you proper
Let
data.
us accept the point. Let us
10%
accept the
for
point.
10% for EWDS, OBC के लिए 27%, 15% for SC, 7.5% for ST, 5% for PW, and I'm just taking example of JW advance as of now. अगर इसमें ही इतनी disparity, and then also when जनरल की पॉपुलेशन कम है, बिकॉज ओनली व्हेन इट कम्स टू जनरल कैटेगरी 30% इंक्लूडिंग 4% ब्राह्मण आर ऑफ जनरल कैटेगरी। सो उस 34% इंक्लूडिंग है, चलो 30% के लिए सिर्फ 40% है सीट, एंड बाकी उन सब के लिए रिजर्व्ड सीट है उससे ज्यादा. The majority is getting reservation and the minority is not getting reservation. I'm not even fighting for that
This
minority
is
to get
not a
reservation.
population war. 20. एक second.
Sir, I
If you're
am
talking
just
about
talking about
majority
the
and
level
how
of
it should,
injustice.
how
And this is
population does
also
not.
मंडल कमीशन का
अरे
रिसर्च
यार,
है. आज
how
तो इसका पॉपुलेशन कितना ज्यादा खराब हो चुका होगा कि
how
जिसको कभी
popul
सर्वे करना ही नहीं चाहिए.
how population matters here, I don't know. 20,000 Europeans ruled us once. My point is not that. Sneh,
I
just
agree.
let me.
I
Just let
agree.
me. Let's just let me.
हाँ.
Okay. The problems, the anecdotes that you have said are the problems. The reservations. A, creamy layer. B, दूसरा reserved officer का second generation has taken use. All of these problems you have said. I'm saying reform. I'm saying percentage में आपको problem
आ
दिख
गए
रहा है.
सर रिफॉर्म पे.
अरे एक मिनट, आई एम सेइंग परसेंटेज में प्रॉब्लम दिख रहा है. रिफॉर्म. यू टेल मी, हाउ डू यू गिव अ पर्सन इक्वल अपॉर्चुनिटी without putting them in the same place as you are, because it is very well known that they are not in the same place, and you are telling me कि उनको मुझसे ज्यादा हार्ड वर्क करना चाहिए, मुझसे ज्यादा स्ट्रगल करना चाहिए, सब कुछ करना चाहिए ताकि वो मेरे लेवल पे आए, फिर उसके बाद जो रेस है वो लड़े.
नॉट सेइंग दैट. मैं
दैट इज
ऐसा बोल रहा
नॉट
हूँ जो
फेयर.
मेरे से भी आगे है उनको रिजर्वेशन नहीं मिलना चाहिए. जिसको मेरे से भी ज्यादा फैसिलिटी मिल चुकी है उनको रिजर्वेशन नहीं मिलना चाहिए.
और मैं तो हाँ बोल रहा हूँ ना कि
हाँ,
मत दो उनको
तो मैं आपसे
रिजर्वेशन.
थोड़ी फाइट कर रहा हूँ सर. मैं तो रिजर्वेशन सिस्टम से फाइट कर रहा हूँ कि
I know,
रिजर्वेशन
but
सिस्टम ही
I
सब
am
बातें बोल
also
रहा है.
with you. I am with you. Listen,
यस, बट
Sneh,
आप
I
रिफॉर्म पे
am
तो आ ही
with
नहीं
you
रहे
on
सर.
every single problem that you have highlighted. What I'm not with you
सोल्यूशन पे तो आ
is
ही
in
नहीं रहे.
saying that everyone has resources. They don't have those resources. वो भिड़े के स्कूटर पे ही है. They have to compete against the भिड़े scooter to
वो
finally
वो मैं
such that everyone
ठीक है.
gets a sports
ठीक
car.
है, चलो मैं वो 2 मिनट के लिए मान भी लेता हूँ, बट सोल्यूशन क्या है? आइडेंटिफिकेशन इकोनॉमिक बेसिस पे हो नहीं सकता. आइडेंटिफिकेशन कास्ट बेस पे होना नहीं चाहिए. तो उनको आइडेंटिफाई कैसे करें?
मतलब I don't get
मेरिट
the
आपके हिसाब से मिथ
identification
है.
problem. I don't see why in today's world, where income inequality, where social inequality is so damn high, where it is such a problem in every single aspect, why we need to get rid of all identities and how it is possible to get rid of all identities. You literally just said that same sex marriage ke time pe legislation does not make a difference. You tell me, how do you remove 5,000 years of caste discrimination
Pratyush,
through one piece of legislation,
before
which
we
we
end this
already
debate,
have,
before
which
we end this
we
debate,
already have.
before we end this debate, give me one solution. एक solution दे दे अपने हिसाब से.
Reforms in the reservation system
Yeah,
and it works perfectly.
that is what I'm asking. What reform?
Remove creamy layer.
How?
A.
ये क्या रिमूव क्रीमी लेयर? ऐसे थोड़ी लिख सकते हो रिमूव.
How do you say remove creamy layer? Do
There
you
is
know how
no
you
way.
remove
How
creamy
can
layer?
I
You say
identify
that
creamy
second
layer?
generation can't get reservation.
How can? Okay, that is a good point. Okay, you only
Okay.
avail one-time reservation in your family. Okay,
One time reservation in line.
I get. No family.
Right?
That is what
If
I
we are
get.
siblings, then I get one, my
Okay,
brother gets one.
okay,
Right? I don't count for my brother. That's what
got
I'm
it.
saying. Remove that. A. Second, make the criteria, make it a lot more enforced. EWS come, make it a lot more enforced. Don't just look at his bank accounts. Right? Find a way to genuinely
Identify
find out the
family income
reality of it all.
as well
See
as
last year
black
उसके कितने income tax returns थे.
exactly. Yeah, that
See
is
last
very
year
good
उसका
point.
कितना bank
Very
account
good
balance
point.
था.
Very
Right?
good point.
I am saying introduce reforms, make it better. I am saying that reservation system is not
Most
bad.
definitely.
It is being driven by someone who's bad.
About economic surveys and all, don't you think that if, say for example, I like your point. I think I agree with that. I had the same point. But when it comes to economical, like आइडेंटिफिकेशन से फॉर एग्जांपल अगर इंप्लीमेंट हो गया, चल अपन दोनों इस पे एग्री करते हैं, हो गया,
हाँ.
इससे ब्लैक मनी बढ़ नहीं जाएगा? वो आई मीन दिस माय जेन्युइन इशू विद दिस. लाइक मैं इस सेम सॉल्यूशन पे सोच रहा था, यहाँ पे मैं रुका था कि से फॉर एग्जांपल अगर मेरी फैमिली 7 से 8 से ऊपर जा रही है तो मेरे को प्रॉब्लम्स हो रहे हैं, तो wouldn't I just try and my whole family line would try to keep it below 8 legally, and would it not lead to more, say for
So
example,
you are telling me
black
that
money?
just to get the benefit of reservation,
Yeah.
you will keep your lifestyle lower. If you can,
No,
एक second, एक
it
second.
will not affect lifestyle, no sir. Black money,
I'm
keeping
saying
black money
background
does
checks
not
can
affect
affect
lifestyle.
lifestyle. I'm saying अगर तेरे पास Honda City है तो तेरी 8 लाख पर एनम कैसे आवक है.
चलो ठीक
I'm
है,
saying look at everything, no?
आई गिव यू एन एग्जांपल. ठीक है, एक आदमी था, ठीक है, आज आज मान ले कि मेरे पापा थे, ठीक है, मेरे पापा ने रिजर्वेशन लिया. वो पहले बहुत ही लो इनकम लेवल से आते, ठीक है, बीपीएल से आते, चल बीपीएल से उन्होंने रिजर्वेशन लिया, वो क्लास 1 ऑफिसर बने, उनको तब तक पता चल गया रिजर्वेशन की सिस्टम क्या है, क्या कैसे मिलता है रिजर्वेशन, ठीक है। तो जैसे ही उनकी इनकम स्टार्ट हुई, ही विल डेफिनेटली कीप इट अंडर द ब्रैकेट ऑफ 8 lakhs.
How is it possible? The government is paying him.
But that is where black money comes up, na sir. If he does not get a job which is more than 8 lakhs, say for example, he will definitely keep it below.
But वो class 1 officer है ना, तो why would he
मैं
look?
कहाँ बोला सर वो क्लास 1 ऑफिसर,
अरे
मैं बोल रहा
listen,
हूँ even if he's a class 3 officer, his income is definitely more than 8 lakhs because of the black money that he earns or because of any particular money that he earns.
but his income is more than 8 lakh on paper. Then any
Exactly,
black
so that
money
is
he
what
earns
happens,
is
no?
unnecessary.
तो वो बढ़ नहीं जाएगा सर, just because a general category person is getting benefit of this particular thing, wouldn't my whole family line try to keep it below 8 just to take
Because it
benefit
is
of the reservation?
impossible. I am saying once you've gotten a benefit, okay,
हाँ
once you become a UPSC, AI, whatever, right, in government,
हाँ
once
right,
you become,
ठीक है,
your income on paper is more than 8 lakhs, making
okay,
it, therefore making it impossible. However, even if you are earning crore rupees in black money a
हाँ
month,
हाँ
because your income on paper is more than 8 lakhs and the government itself is paying you, that's gone.
ठीक है. What about the
And as far
first
as,
timer, or like first time, my whole line has not got benefit of reservation at all, but we are deliberately keeping it below 8, which
it's impossible. And if I'm saying if
is
it is even possible, I'm saying it is even
हाँ
possible. तुम black money से store करके रखोगे क्या कहीं पे? कहीं पे तो use करोगे. माँ के
exactly,
गहने हैं,
it,
ये
sir,
है,
it is
वो है.
never traceable, no sir, it
अरे
is
no
never
no,
traceable.
I'm saying it is not traceable. That's not, again, you are deviating from the point. We are talking
I
about,
am not talking about reservation as well, I'm just
हाँ,
talking about,
ठीक
because
है
I
ठीक है.
agree to this
तो
question, that's why I'm giving
reform
it
में
to this
that
audience.
can always exist, no? That
I
can
agree
always
to that.
exist.
I think those 3 solutions reforms were very good, and I have 3 solutions to that. The combination of that I think can solve this
I'm
problem.
saying there are a lot more nuances that that college age students can't figure out
हाँ,
one night. I think there needs to be like
no,
a
most
good
definitely. I
parliamentary
think
inquiry
एक
into it.
एक डीआर तो बन सकता है, इतना तो कर सकते हैं.
आराम, अरे इस पे तो यार आदमी कितने
But
भी
हाँ,
बना
this is the first
इस
time in any debate, because no, we are not adhering to time. We were able to reach at a conclusion of it.
राइट
ये कभी नहीं हुआ है. I genuinely love this particular debate. बहुत ही
या
मजा आया मेरे
मी
को.
टू मी टू
चैट
इट वाज
अभी भी
जेन्युइनली
है
गुड.
भाई, चैट अभी भी है. मेरे को बीच में बहुत चिंता हो रही थी कि चैट चली जाएगी, लेकिन all those people who are there are still there. I love it.
15
What do you guys
yes.
think about this debate? What do you guys think about it? Right, this was the
That's
best
the
episode.
best episode. Arey, my schoolmate was here. Pratyush has his debating skills because of his debate practice every morning in the school bus with us. I agree. I agree.
Oh damn, nice. ऊपर से पढ़ो, हाँ भाई, वो पढ़ना
ऊपर
पड़ेगा.
से बढ़ते.
जीआईएस कैंसिल हो गया, ठीक है भाई. प्रत्युष सपने मत दिखा.
I
काफी
don't know what
इंटरेस्टिंग एंड
context that
वैलिड.
was in, but
हाँ, probably I think किसके ऊपर होगा, पोर्शे के ऊपर होगा. काफी इंटरेस्टिंग एंड बैलेंस डिबेट थी. फर्स्ट आई अलाइंड विद प्रत्युष, however at later part of the debate with Sneh.
fair.
According to Pratyush, then why do we need caste based reservation, make reservation economic basis? We
Because
both
so
disagree to that, I think, because of the possibility of loopholes in those particular things. आ
loopholes
गया
and
भाई. हाँ हाँ, क्या loopholes
no,
क्या.
I'm just saying loopholes and the overall social
Yeah man,
problems of it all. I mean,
it will just make it worse. फिर 50 साल बाद वो सेम लड़ाई इकोनॉमिक बेसिस पे कर रहे होगे जो अभी हम रिजर्वेशन कास्ट बेस पे कर रहे हैं. आई थिंक इट्स स्टिल बैड.
पहले
व्हाई आर यू.
कास्ट बेस पे तो उनको ऊपर लाओ, पहले उनको सारे मंदिर में एंट्री दो.
या
राइट,
आई
उनको
थिंक
उनको
हटाना तो
सेम
नहीं चाहिए.
ग्लास में
दैट इज
उनके
समथिंग
साथ
दैट आई
पानी
एम आल्सो
पियो.
अपोज्ड.
उनको सेम ग्लास में पानी पियो, फिर बात करते हैं. क्योंकि अगर आप यूपीएससी क्लास 1 ऑफिसर बन भी गए, पर अगर आपके सामने जो दूसरे लोग बैठे हैं वो आपके सेम ग्लास में पानी भी नहीं पियेंगे, तो वो रिजर्वेशन का क्या मतलब.
I think even more than that, this is where I think movies change our perspective. उनके सेम ग्लास से पानी पीना जरूरी नहीं है, बट उनको अपने सेम ग्लास में पानी देना अलाउ होना जरूरी.
हाँ,
राइट
एग्जैक्ट प्रिसाइजली व्हाट आई एम सेइंग.
राइट, ये थोड़ा इमोशनल हो जाता है, बट आई थिंक आई एग्री. वी बोथ वर ऑलवेज ऑन द सेम पॉइंट, जस्ट फ्रॉम अ डिफरेंट साइड बिकॉज ऑफ आवर डिफरेंस. बाय द वे चैट, मैंने ना 10 पेज की लिस्ट भेजी थी फॉर द टॉपिक्स, ठीक है. 2 बार लिस्ट भेजनी पड़ी थी, बट इन द बोथ लिस्ट देयर वर पहली लिस्ट में सिर्फ एक टॉपिक था जहाँ पे हम दोनों सेम फॉल कर रहे थे, बाकी दूसरी लिस्ट में आर ओपिनियंस आर ऑपोजिट ऑन ऑल ऑफ देम.
all points
पूरी
and
लिस्ट में वी आर स्टैंडिंग ऑपोजिट ओनली.
on all points.
But still it was the best debate. I
It
mean,
it
I
it was
love it.
very fun, man. It was very
है
fun.
ना? And
Yeah.
chat, what do you guys think about the debate? मेरे को बताओ chat में. Keep the chat rolling so that I know how was it. And is कोई
Not
क्वेश्चन
surprised.
है प्रत्युष से तो वो पूछो भाई, क्योंकि मेरे पास एक
हाँ,
आध दो क्वेश्चन है जो
I'm
मेरे को
up for
पूछने
it.
हैं.
I'm up for it.
Okay. Till chat are the question. Pratyush, I want to ask you 2-3 questions. ठीक है?
Yeah.
I am a kind of a person who dropped out after 12th. Okay. I don't know C of college. All the colleges I have been to are only for the MUs that I've been to. I don't know what happens in any university or anything. ठीक है? I am very much interested in how you got into OP Jindal or how you chose law as a background. Tell me more about that.
So, I mean, law has always been something that has attracted me a lot. It's it's a it's very empowering to use that word. Um, no, but
Like your parents?
it is. I mean, standing and speaking every single day in some place or the other. It's inherently very attractive to me. It also helps that I have a family background of law.
Okay.
As far as Jindal is concerned, in fact, I was not very keen on Jindal before.
अच्छा.
Then CLAT happened. I didn't do so well. I was very depressed. Then I gave LSAT. I did fantastically well, and then we came to a decision that I think Jindal would be better. I got into GNLU the very last moment, but uh,
I think you agree with. I've heard that you think you made a better choice with Jindal than
oh,
GNLU.
100%. It's changed my life in every good way
You
ever.
said it when you were sitting with Manush. That is I
I
remember
said it.
that.
I said it. I was like, yeah, I've made the right choice. I made the right
No, most definitely, because
choice.
the last days only I was able to know what Jindal is about, because I was because you are my EB, so I talked with Rishi about it. I didn't know what
Yeah,
Jindal is.
Rushi. In fact, I was chairing the MUN, and one of the delegates was someone I hosted in my own university as executive board,
Oh,
which
nice.
was very
Right,
amusing.
right. No, most definitely. I think the circuit is at a level that the you know वो वेन डायग्राम बहुत ही बड़ा बन रहा है अभी, बहुत मजा आ रहा है. एंड
And I
आई
think the
लव इट.
circuit. I mean, I would ask you all to see HLCC के podcasts if you are into the MUN
या
circuit.
मैन.
Um, I would ask you to see Amol sir's podcast. I would like to ask you to see Adi Bhai's podcast. All of them are very
Yes,
good. And the point is that we need reform in the circuit as well, right?
yes.
I think there is a very vital need to get out of this social centered thing,
Hmm.
right?
Hmm.
Like, I don't want you to have socials at a five-star hotel. Okay,
Hmm.
I want you. I would take a school. ठीक है, स्कूल में रखो, सोशल रखो, मैं ना नहीं बोल रहा, स्पीकर रख दो, ग्राउंड होगा स्कूल में, बजा दो. I don't want you to have elaborate socials and spend half your conference money on
Hmm.
socials.
Yeah, and just the price
Focus
going
on the
high
MUN.
because of the socials.
Focus on the MUN. I'm saying
Yeah.
pay the chairs well. Ask better chairs to come from other circuits. Right? Have also, what I think a lot of MUNs fall in the trap of is using the same agenda that is on the matrix at the time. Right? I'm saying relevant agendas ko lao. I don't want to discuss the African Union in the UNSC when Israel Palestine has happened 2 months ago.
Hmm.
Right?
Hmm.
I don't want to discuss that. You give me Israel Palestine here. The other thing is, I also think there is a huge need for education as far as the UN Charter goes. Lot of
Yeah.
MUN people come now. I mean, I'm a person who's learned how to MUN in 2017 and 2018. 2018 and 2019, in
Okay.
fact, where Pratham Maheshwari was also a delegate with me, where all these people, all these people were I Neil Datta Roy used to chair, right? These were
Yeah.
the times where
Yeah.
I really learned how to do it. And I think what is missing from a lot of MUNs is the UN Charter, which is very sad. But rarely do you see people saying that, oh, this is against the UN Charter. Why are you not upholding the UN Charter? That's your number one asset.
Hmm.
So I mean, that's about
No,
all
and
details.
how do you suggest? Because personally, when I think about reform, one good thing or one positive step that I saw was the meme page that came out. I think that was a very good way of reforming or at least voicing out the reforms that are needed.
So as far as the meme page is concerned, no, I have had a lot of different responses. I mean, I have been part of the chair
Yeah,
discussions as well, the EB discussions and the delegate discussions sort of. I'm in favor of it. I think it is. I
yeah,
think it is generally good. Problem is that in such a meme page, when you have a monopoly,
yeah.
I think you have to be a bit more careful. I think the person is careful so far,
Hmm.
right? And I think the meme page has done very well, especially with recent controversies,
Hmm.
voicing them out.
Yeah.
But I think there is when you talk about something that is more, um, sort of when it requires a sort of seriousness in the way
Hmm.
that it's conveyed,
Hmm.
which a meme page is inherently incapable of doing.
Yeah. But I think, say for example, because I often say this, for a religion to be propagated, God is necessary, and therefore for a message to be propagated, a meme is necessary, right? It will only
Yeah, no, I
affect
get it.
or it will
I get
only
it. I get
reach
it.
them because of the meme and not just because of a confession.
But
Say for example.
I think reform will come. I
Yeah, man.
think you know what I would like. My a good friend of mine is has organized a couple of MUNs,
Hmm.
and I think the one piece of advice I would give to anyone who's thinking about organizing an MUN, even though I have no experience of it, as a
Hmm.
delegate and a chair, please try to mimic institutional MUNs.
Hmm. Hmm.
Okay, try to mimic your GNLU or ILNU or GLS, FOC.
Hmm.
Try to mimic these MUNs
For
and see
maiden
because
edition, it
they're
is
doing.
definitely a great thing.
Try to okay. At the end of the day, try to mimic HLCC in every way you can.
Post
I
that, the
guarantee
reform
you.
will start. Yeah, man.
I guarantee you that is the first step to reform because HLCCs it breaks my heart every year. I have to go to college. I have to go to college on my first August my semester starts. Second, third, fourth is always HLCC, and I can never go. I have always been to mock. I can never go to proper HLCC क्योंकि
Ah,
पहले तो कोविड था उसके पहले I was too young.
I love to be a dropout, man.
Nah, but it
Because
would
I
be.
can I can just go like this. मैं आज अगर मेरे को कल फोन आ जाए कि भाई कल एमयू आज I can just go today, and that is I think I love it.
So no, I mean I think
But
we're
no,
on.
this
I
reforms
think we
are
can go
great.
on the right path.
Yeah.
I think that was a phase in the circuit where socials were taking over, but now I think we are at a phase where socials are also extravagant in my opinion, still
Maybe,
extravagant.
maybe.
But the ability to debate is also going. And more importantly, कभी कभी मुझे लगता है that when you talk about MUNs per se, they're more about discussion and less about debate. कुछ लोग वो वो
But you have
डिबेट
to
का.
understand, I feel that the circuit has not changed. It is just that the hotel conferences organizing team are busy in their own stuff right now. The season of hotel conference, as soon as it starts, all of those culture will come back. I don't think the changes happen because I've talked with all of those conference people also, and they don't agree to this particular thing, which is
Yeah, I mean
awfully
it's.
right.
Yeah, no, I think there's we need change is what
No,
I'm
I
saying.
agree. No, I
And I
agree.
need change in the direction of debate and discussion. And what I also think we need changes in research. Kyuki I'm going to be very frank with you. Last couple of MUNs that I've delegated, I've researched for maybe 1 hour max before attending. Maybe 1 hour max. I've not researched
Same
for more
here,
than that.
to be very honest. Yeah,
Because no, and the unfortunate point is that I don't want to.
you don't need to.
I don't need to. I know
Yeah,
that the point is going to be the same. मैंने Israel
yeah.
Palestine 3 बार funny thing is I've done Israel Palestine as my fourth, fifth, and sixth MUN in UNHRC and dissect. Fourth, fifth, and sixth MUN is UNHRC and dissect. I knew every single motion. I knew every single
I
DR.
agree. I agree.
Now
I
my
have
point is that
I have done Palestine, as Israel, as US, and Iran. All four.
all it's like the point still remains that there's a there's a straight direction.
Yeah, man.
Everyone says two-state solution, right? Foreign policy, act according to your foreign policy. Add some new committee, bring in some nuance. And for that, I also think that the committee sessions are really lacking.
Yeah, the time, man. Like
Yeah, exactly.
3
I
day
need the
कॉन्फ्रेंस
committee
कहाँ
session.
गए
There was metropole में जो MUNs होते थे, we used to have
भाई?
like 18-20 hours of debating 2 days. I'm saying get those, get those
Yeah,
hours more. I think personally, I think a lot of people would be up for something like a ROP session online, and then every single session goes,
every
because
single session.
inevitably 2 hours will always go into your ROP, right?
Yeah,
You
man.
don't want to spend those 2 hours in your ROP. You right, you want to spend them actually debating. Plus, because the school kids are coming, they also need to know how to research. And I think that is, as a chair, that is our responsibility.
Yeah, that should
Right?
be done before, not on the same day. Yeah.
And I'm saying, I'm speaking as a chair and an experienced delegate. I think it's our responsibility to give them that. And you know, we've got to really push the circuit into it.
No, most
तभी
definitely.
होगा.
Man, lovely points, lovely points. चलो फिर chat we will sign off. बहुत ही मजा आया. I think it was best so far. And we'll do more of other ideas that I have with Pratyush. Pratyush, I'll discuss those ideas with you. अभी रुक, मैं live stream पहले end कर देता हूँ. ठीक है, chat do subscribe the channel, like वाइक कर लो. ये सब बोलना अच्छा नहीं लगता भाई. बाकी प्रत्युष को जाके follow up करो अगर तुम मेरे through देख रहे हो तो. He's a great guy. You will keep seeing him in MUN circuit. एंड अगर तुम प्रत्युष के थ्रू आ रहे हो तो मुझे फॉलो कर दो भाई, और क्या ही है. ठीक है, थैंक यू सो मच फॉर अटेंडिंग दिस. कीप कमिंग, देयर विल बी मोर डिबेट कमिंग सून. थैंक यू सो मच चैट. बाय बाय.